Time to get out of the friend zone. Today what we're going to look at is number 1. We're going to use a technique to help you fight the demon of rejection. So the fear that you have of being rejected by women, we're actually going to use a little technique to help you get out of that. Number 2, stop pussyfooting around women. So we're actually going to look at 3 ways to overcome your shyness and become more confident. Number 3, we'll talk about why you need to start being fearless around women and how to stop all that fear coming up and ruining your chances. Okay, so number 1, beating the demon of rejection. Now we all have this, so especially even in my business I have this demon of rejection when I'm trying to get on the phone and sell to people. It is the same thing with women. So essentially what you're doing is selling yourself in a great way by being who you are instead of trying to be something you're not, pretending that you've got this or that or the other thing, and about actually being completely true and authentic. But unfortunately when you're trying to do that, all these fears and beliefs can get in the way and actually completely kill your chances. So for example, if you're at a party and you see a woman that you're attracted to, obviously then you're going to have to fight the fear of rejection, the demon, because he's on your shoulder telling you that she's probably got a boyfriend, she won't be interested in you, there's better looking guys at the party and that sort of thing. So what we've got to do is help you minimize that fear. So the way we're going to do that is with a visualization technique. So what I need you to do is close your eyes and have a think about your most terrifying scenario with women. So whether it's, going up to a group of women to say hello, or whether it's talking to someone in the street, whether it's actually telling someone that you know how you feel. So I'd like you to really have a think about that situation that scares the absolute shit out of you. And just make sure your eyes are closed. And sit back in your chair and relax. Now, have a think about the shape of this scenario and the size of it. Because what we're going to do is blow it up. So the chair you're sitting in now, I'd like you to picture this scenario, this thing, to be the same size as what you're sitting on. So just blow it up in your mind. Then I'd like you to blow it up to the size of the room. So just picture this thing growing to the size of the room that you're in. Now I'd like you to blow it up to the size of the building that you're sitting in, whether it's your house, your office, whatever. Blow it right up, so just make it really big. And then blow it right up again to be the size of the town that you live in. So really blow it right up. That fear, all of those feelings around it, really ramp it right up. Now I'd like you to ramp it right up to the size of the country that you're in. Just make it bigger and bigger. Then blow it even up bigger, even more. I'd like you to blow it right up to the size of the world. All of those feelings, just massive, overwhelming, engulfing that fear. Now I'd like you to blow it up to the size of the universe, where it just goes on forever. It's massive, huge, and you can't bring it down because it's just so overwhelming. Now what I'd like you to do is get a little pin and bust that baby. And now I'd like you to watch it shrink down. So shrinking down from the size of the universe to the size of the earth. From the size of the earth to the size of your country that you live in. Watch it just go down and down and down. Right down to the size of the building that you're sitting in. right down to the size of the room that you're in, going down even further and further. Now visualize it being the size of the chair that you're sitting on, and then shrink it down even more, down to the size of a pot plant. Just shrink it right down to the size of a matchbox car. Shrink it right down to the size of the top of a pinhead. And what I'd like you to do with that little bit of vision is put some roller skates on it and put a chipmunk voice to that. So whether it's a woman, put a chipmunk voice on her like this. Open your eyes. Have a look around the room. What's your phone number? Great. So a little distraction there. So with this technique, this is fantastic for helping you get through any fears that you've got when it comes to women. Hopefully it worked for you. If you did it properly, if it didn't work, recommend you do it again and just keep doing it until you suddenly feel okay about approaching a group of women or a woman. Pussyfooting around women. Okay, so a lot of men have a lot of fear about actually, as we went through with this technique just before, a lot of guys have massive fear around being assertive with women. Now the problem with that is, whether it could be because you've been raised that way, I don't know, but it could be something that's happened to you in your life that's caused you to not stand up for yourself. Now this is very unattractive behavior, and it will never ever get you anywhere in life. So if you need to work on your assertiveness, I highly recommend that this is something that you really start focusing on. Because if you're the kind of guy that lets people walk all over you, then you're never really going to be as successful as you'd like to be in any area of your life. Sometimes you do have to be a little bit of a bastard, and that's okay. If anyone has a problem with that, remember, it is their problem, not yours. So, what we're going to do here is, I'd like you to write down 4 times where you've actually let a woman walk all over you or bulldoze you. And then what I'd like you to do underneath that is write why you did it. And pause the video now. Actually going to look at 3 ways to help you overcome this shyness or lack of confidence or fear of standing up for yourself. So the first thing is with your body language. How you actually carry yourself in your body says a lot about what's going on in your head, because it's all attached. So when you have a negative thought, it will actually come out in your body language and how you feel about yourself. So if you've ever seen someone walking around the street, their head low, they're kind of slumped, then you would assume that they're not very happy within themselves or something bad's happened. And so here's the thing, if you want to come across as confident, it's really important to straighten your back, walk tall, keep your head facing out to the horizon. All right? So what you're essentially doing is projecting it, which then generates feelings inside of you of feeling confident. It's phenomenal. It's a very magic little trick, but it'll take you 2 seconds to do. So if you're uncomfortable in a situation, say at a party or at the club or whatever, and you haven't had 10 drinks, then try this little trick. Fake it till you make it. Stride around as if you own the joint. The second thing to do in overcoming, this fear of and shyness and lack of confidence is to start telling yourself different stories. So if you're always negative about yourself and the things that you can and can't do, that's going to affect you. It's going to affect your physiology, as I said before. So if you're starting to change the stories that you tell yourself, because this is what we do as people. We tend to tell ourselves stories to justify why we do what we do, whether it's I don't know, I'm put on weight and it's genetics, which is bullshit for most people. It's just because you haven't been exercising and eating well. But it's all about taking accountability for who you are and your own actions. So if you're sort of blaming other people for who you are and why you're where you're at, you're never, ever, ever going to get out of it. You're going to be constantly seen as a victim. We don't want any victims here. So this leads me on to number 3. Being a victim is incredibly, incredibly unsexy. So if you're always blaming other people for your misfortunes, particularly women, and I get a lot of guys on my page saying, oh, you know, all Melbourne women are the same and all this and all that. It is bullshit. You've just had an experience in your life where a woman's done something and it's affected you, and now you actually see it as all women are the same. And it's bullshit. And you know it's bullshit. But you say it just to make yourself feel better and to justify it and rationalise it in your head. When really what you've got to do is take ownership and accept that you are behaving in a certain way that's generating this behaviour in women. And the other way around. You know, we all generate behaviour in other people when they're around us. So if you're, you know, like shirking responsibility for your own actions, and you're always going to be a victim, and you're never going to be successful, particularly with women, because strong women don't want to be with a victim. We want to be with a smart guy that's got his shit together. So this leads me on to the 3rd point. Why you need to be fearless when it comes to interacting with women. Now, a lot of people are afraid because they've got the soft side of them, and they're too scared that if they go too far, they don't want to be the aggressive person as well. So you go from passive here, and then there's aggressive up the top here. Then what you really want to be is assertive, which is in the middle. So it's a combination. All right. Now, assertive means to actually be strong in your beliefs. Also setting boundaries and learning how to say no. If a girl comes up to you in a bar and demands you buy her a drink, fucking tell her no. It's your money. And if you think that you're going to get something out of it, think again, because she's just using you for your money. So stand up for yourself. Don't be a pussy about it. All right? You've got to be a strong guy that has ownership of who he is. He knows who he is. He's got his boundaries of what he will and won't put up with. If you're just letting people walk all over you, as I've said before, you're just going to get more people walking all over you. So what do you want? Do you want to keep being that guy? Or do you want to step up, be a man, grow some balls, and just fucking be strong? Which is what every woman wants. We don't want to be with a doormat. Just like you probably don't want to be with a female doormat either. So when you get into a relationship, it's about, it ebb and flow either way. So if you're letting the woman win all the time, she's not going to respect you, and it's never going to last. So there you go, guys. There's my 3 points of helping you get out of the friend zone, and also helping you with women in general. So I'm running an 8-week program, which is a massive extension on this stuff. So what we will look at, you will get mentoring from me. So we'll be in constant contact, because I want you to get this stuff sorted in your life. It's really important, and I do this for women as well, is to help you guys really get that shit sorted so that you can have great relationships. Whether you want to be with one person or you just want to date and have fun with it, at least getting you into a space where you're no longer this sookie la and into a space where you know who you are and you're a very desirable option for women. That's where I want to help you get to. So if you want to get in touch with me in regards to this, the email address is singlechickstoolkit, all one word, @gmail.com. So that's singlechickstoolkit @gmail.com. Have an awesome day.